Terry fans back, and I'm going to make another list. This time, of my opinion, the 10 worst video games I ever played. This is my personal list. And y'all can agree to disagree, but in case I know I'm a little red, it's hot outside. I was outside working, in case y'all want to know. Anyway, this is my list of the 10 worst video games I ever played. This goes for every console system in the world. Everything from the Super Nintendo to the PlayStation 2. This is my list of the 10 worst video games I personally ever played. Coming in at number 10 is Yoshis Story. The game was terrible, mostly because of the bad controls. It looked great, but the controls were a pain in the ass. Coming in at number 9 is Wayne's World. Another failure attempt of a game based on a motion picture. Wayne's World is a classic comedy, but this excuse me, this game ruined it. The only good thing is when you got defeated, you go, "Not worthy, not worthy." Coming in at number 8 is Jeopardy Sports Edition. Terrible, terrible game. Avoid that game at all costs. Especially coming in at number 7, Star Trek: The Next Generation. I admit it, I said Star Trek. I am a Star Trek fan. I was in The Next Generation, but I remember as a kid this game was bad. You know when you're a kid that you know when a game is bad. Coming in at number 6 is WWE Backstage Assault. Possibly the worst World Championship Wrestling video game ever made. I notice I almost said World Wrestling Federation. Well, technically WWE is owned by the WWE, so what's the difference? Anyway, in this game, you have no ring, you're just backstage, fighting. The graphics are just terrible, the controls messed up, no licensed theme songs. Just avoid this game at all costs. Coming in at number 5 is may shock you, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. What's terrible about the game is one of the facts is that if you're a little guy, you can't pick up somebody like Mark Henry or The Big Show. What the freak? And sometimes the controls can be a pain in the ass. That was my dog Bear barking. Coming in at number 4 is Van Helsing. Terrible game. Terrible, 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 terrible. And the sad thing is, on the DVD, they put a demo on the game where you put it in your Xbox, you can play the game. Great. I like the movie very much. I may review that movie later on, but that's the worst. That's a terrible game. One of the main things is that if you leave your hat on during the game, you'll get bonus points. That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. I mean, first off, you're fighting vampires and werewolves. Why in the world are you going to be worried about your hat? Coming number 3 is the game that scared me when I was a kid, and it still kind of does, but terrible game. Jurassic Park. Terrible game. One of those licensed movies based on turned into a game that turned out to be a real pain. The graphics were creepy when you go in the first person mode, but the game and the sound was pretty scary. This game scared me when I was a kid. Still does, but still, it was just a terrible game. Coming in number 2 is WWE Wrestle Mania 19 for the GameCube. The reason I put this game on my list is the season mode. The season mode is just terrible. All you do is go around and beat up security guards and stuff. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. Coming in number 1 is Beast Wars Transformers for the PlayStation and the PC. None of the original actors, terrible graphics, and terrible controls put this game on my list. That game is terrible. Avoid at all costs. Well, Terry fans signing out. Thanks for watching. Take care. If you have a list of your 10 worst video games ever, please make a response. Take care.